Hello and welcome to an episode of Warhammer Wednesday. This is episode 32 and it's going to be a lore video, but it's going to be Athel Loren. I know, it has to be covered. And since it's my lore of the Wood Elves, I'm going to keep it as part of Warhammer Wednesday, and I haven't done one in ages. So, if you want to learn more about the devastating lore of Athel Loren, stay tuned. It's going to get leafy. Now, because the lore of Athel Loren and Wood Elves in general haven't been updated in quite a while, there is no lore attribute or signature spell. So Tree Singing kind of acts as the signature spell in that you can drop down to it if you want to at all times. So Tree Singing is the first spell. It's a cast on 4+ with a range of 18 inches, and it allows the caster to cast Tree Singing on the forest within that range, and it can move D3+1. So 4 maximum. It's not very far, but a lot of things in the Wood Elf army can cast Tree Singing, not necessarily just the Spell Singers or Weavers. It could be stuff like Branch Race, Tree Man. So it comes in handy. I mean, you can do it on the same wood a number of times in the same go, but it's not that great, and you can only cast it if a unit is entirely in the forest or completely out of it. So not partially within, and it won't do anything. If you don't want to move it to benefit you, what you can do instead is use Tree Singing to inflict D6 strength 5 hits on an enemy that can even be partially within the wood. So that's pretty handy, as the signature pretty low spell, and again can be cast several times. Fury of the Forest is the second spell. It's a cast on 6+ with a range of 18 inches, and it allows you to roll D6 strength 4 hits on an enemy, which is pretty nice. And if they're within 6 inches of a wood, D6 strength 5 hits. Pretty nice. Circumstantial though. The woods, unfortunately, are difficult to place. You can't get many of them. So if you can get your enemy near them, it's a much more useful spell for a strength 5 hit. The Hidden Path is the third spell. It's a cast on 7+ and with a range of 18 inches, and it allows you to cast it on a single friendly unengaged unit, and then they treat all terrain as open terrain, open ground, and they also cannot be harmed by non-magical missiles, which is pretty handy. Again, a little bit circumstantial, but if you're in a sticky situation with terrain or going to get mushed by some non-magical missiles, then yes, it can help you. Twilight Toast is a cast on 8+, and it means that on a friendly unit within 18 inches, you can give them fear. If they already have fear, they get terror instead. This is pretty handy. A lot of the stuff that I will be using already causes fear, so to cause terror, which is straight on the charge, is massively helpful. And especially with a Dryker list, I want to be getting them straight into combat as soon as possible. So something that I'm definitely hoping to roll for. Ariel's Blessing is a cast on 9+, and it's a range of 18 inches. And basically you cast it on a friendly unit, and then they get the regeneration special, which is a 4+ save. This is handy. I'm noticing that everything has a an 18-inch range, but Wood Elves are typically quite fast moving, so it shouldn't be too difficult to get. This is always helpful if you want to have a unit survive a bit longer in a round of combat, or you think they might not get it with what they have. They typically don't have the best armour, if any. So always useful, and especially a good one if you roll this from the start. Call of the Hunt is a cast on 11+, and with a range of 18 inches on a single friendly unit. If they are in combat, they gain an extra attack. If they are not, they roll 2d6 and immediately move to the nearest enemy. If they cannot see one, then they move forward. If they are skirmish, then you nominate a direction for them to move in. This is pretty good because it basically allows a charge in a movement phase, which is very difficult to combat if you're not prepared for it, and that's to anyone that is playing against the Wood Elves. It's very difficult. I've done this once before with the Tree Man, and it was a very circumstantial movement, but it did help me, and he did stay alive because he got the charge in first. Otherwise he would have been charged and been taken out of the game. So it was very helpful, but again, it's a lot of these spells are very, very circumstantial. But what I've noticed from reading through these and just from playing over time is that you really have to know Wood Elves through and through, because, you know, reading through, some of them can be cast tracing several times, and although initially it doesn't mean that you can move the wood very far, doing it enough times really makes a difference and can change the game. Then with conjunction of Fury of the Forest, you can put some woods near, within 6 inches of an enemy unit, and then get off a strength 5 hit instead of a strength 4. So it is very helpful, but you just have to really know the army that you're playing, and I don't feel that I'm quite there yet and confident enough to use this. So it's not a terrible lore, but it is outdated, and I think there is a lot of room for improvement. But I have seen a few players use it very well, and I'm going to have to try it a bit more, and I hope to do so with my new Dryker list. Amber, will you stop casting tree singing?
No, I will not.
Tree singing!